Hello, here we are for another week. It's amazing, the year has just flown by so quickly. And today we're going to be talking about jumping. We've touched on jumping in previous weeks. So if you haven't watched the previous week's videos, you can jump on to any of them on my YouTube channel here, Learning with Ricardo Reading Mouse, and they mainly go for 5 or 10 minutes. And we've been talking about how active play can benefit your child in preparing them to learn to read, write and spell, in developing the fine and gross motor skills, the eye tracking, the eye-hand coordination, which is so important for holding a pencil and placing letters on a line, and tracking across a board or a page to read and to write and to spell. So jumping. So many children love to play games that require jumping, and indoor and outdoor jumping is so much fun when it's safe, obviously, and adult supervised. But children around the age of 3, by the time they're 3, 2.5 to 3, you can expect that they will be able to jump down off an object that may be about 18 inches for those in America, or about 45 centimeters high. So down one step at the bottom of a playground or something like that, the balance and the coordination and the strength and the courage to jump down, they should be able to take off with 2 feet and jump and land without falling or overbalancing or tripping down an object that's stable and safe, about 18 inches to 45 centimeters in height, and they will be so delighted. And that is something that's really important in developing their brain and spatial awareness and depth perception, all of those skills that are important for science, maths and English learning, and having that awareness to move your body through space, which we've talked about on other videos. So children that are a bit younger, if your child is 2, 2.5, you could expect that they would be able to jump down 1 foot leading. You'll see that they will lead with 1 foot of a distance of about 16 inches, which is, what's the conversion of that? That's about 40 centimeters. The assessment that I use is in inches because it's American, but it's standardized globally. So that's what we look for when we do developmental milestone assessments for children. So the average 2 to 2.5 year old, you can set up obstacle courses outside or inside and expect them to jump down a height of about 40 centimeters, and they will not yet be able to possibly do 2 feet takeoff and land. So it's okay if they lead with 1 foot. And they will love that. And actually jumping down from a height is easier developmentally than standing from a still position and jumping with 2 foot takeoff and land. So encouraging your toddler, your 2.5 to 3 year old, 2 to 3 year old, when they're wanting to jump, you can hold their hand and they will begin to develop the balance, coordination and the courage and the strength to be able to do it themselves. And it's developing so much in their brain and in their body for their lifelong learning, which is awesome. So when they get to about 2.5, 3 also, you'll see that they're jumping down from a height. We'll get to the point when they can do it with 2 feet takeoff and land. Then they should be ready to be able to jump with 2 feet, take off and land forwards, just from standing to another spot on the ground. And I often say to children, bend your knees, put your arms out, you're going to jump like a kangaroo. And for a child that's 2.5 to 3, they should be able to do that and really enjoy it. I use little rubber mats that you buy in the cheap shop, the garden centre, and put them out as an obstacle course and ask them to jump like a kangaroo, or we call them lily pads, and you can place them around the room and they can jump and practice jumping 2 feet together, take off and land. And around the age of 2.5 to 3, they should be able to do a distance of about 24 inches, which is about 60 centimeters. So placing the little carpet squares or hoops or little rubber mats that you can get that are non-slip, or out on the grass or on the carpet or on a soft fall area, and they can make obstacle courses to jump, or you can draw with chalk, and it's really fun. And by the time they get to about 4.5, that distance increases to, let me just see, actually when they're 3.5, 4, that distance that they can jump increases to 30 inches, which is about 76 centimeters. And by the time they're 4.5, it's 36 inches, which is about 91 centimeters. So those of you who are on my emailing list, you will get those jumping distances and developmental milestones in the weekly email. And if you would like those in a format that you can refer to, please jump onto my website and fill in my pop-up form with your email address to join my mailing list, and please send me an email and I can send that out to you if you've missed the email that has the details that I'm referring to here for the distances and the ages that you would expect your child to be able to do these things. So when they're heading into kindergarten, preschool, prep, depending where you are in the world, what you call that for a 4.5-year-old, they should be able to jump about 36 inches, 91 centimeters from a 2-foot take off and land. And I've been working with a couple of children recently privately that have been referred to me through occupational therapy, and that's been their home program with their parents and their other siblings to practice jumping and being able to take off with 2 feet, land with 2 feet without gross overbalancing, falling or tipping or tripping. And that really is excellent for their core balance and strength and stability and spatial awareness, and using your 2 hands to jump forward and balance. And it's just so wonderful for your child's development. So if you haven't looked at jumping and you haven't been doing jumping, then jumping in a potato sack type race, those activities are so much fun. Also blowing bubbles to encourage your child to jump up and clap for them, and they're just encouraging them to leave the ground. And as I said, the younger children, 2.5, will lead with 1 foot. You'll see them lead with 1 foot. They'll jump up with 1 foot and the other foot mightn't even leave the ground. But as they get older and their body's developing, they'll be able to jump up with 2 feet, land with 2 feet, jump forward with 2 feet, land with 2 feet, and jump down off an object with 2 feet and land with 2 feet. So have fun over the Christmas holidays, school holidays in the Southern Hemisphere. It's summer. So you might be at the beach jumping in the sand, or in the cool of your courtyard or backyard area in the shade, or inside in the air conditioning. But have fun doing all kinds of jumping, and take care. See you next week. Bye.